Okay, so to get started with using Git and WordPress, you'll need to have a central repository for you to be able to use, and that repository is for you to use on your local desktop or laptop, whichever you're using, as well as a repository that you can then put on your live environment on your web hosting account. And the best way to do that is to have an online or remote repository. And there are a couple of good services that you can do this through. I've obviously got Bitbucket up on the screen at the moment. That is one of the services. The most popular one that most people use is GitHub. The difference between the two, and you might see it already, is you can get a free account with GitHub, but it's for public repositories. Okay, so with your WordPress code, you might have sensitive information in that code, specifically things to do with your wp-config file. You also may have plugins that you have in your repository that you don't want people to have access to, and having a public repository gives people access to that information. So you would need to grab a private repository, and you might be able to see from this page here that a private repository, and only up to 5 repositories, is $7 a month. So if you're looking at over a 12-month cycle, and that's ongoing, it's probably going to add up in terms of a cost, depending on how much money you're looking to spend. And it does allow you unlimited collaborators. Now with Bitbucket, Bitbucket do have unlimited private repositories, as you can see there, and it's free for up to 5 users on the one account. Okay, so it's free and you get 5 users, so if it's just you and maybe a small team, it's probably a nice option to go with. And Bitbucket are just as reputable as GitHub, obviously not as popular as GitHub, but it is just as reputable. I use Bitbucket all the time, haven't had a problem, knock on wood, that nothing goes wrong, but yeah, I haven't had a problem so far. So what I suggest that you do is create a Bitbucket account, so you can sign up for free, so you can add your username, email and password here. And so what I'll do, I might do that right now. So I might do that. And we'll have 1009.com, and okay, and we're going to sign up for free, and that should be all that we need. It should take us through. Okay, so we need to tell a little bit more about ourselves. I want to keep spelling my name wrong. There we go. Okay, so let's click submit, and hopefully, okay, brilliant. So that is all we need to do with signing up our Bitbucket account. Now, if we have a look here, it says welcome, you can create your first repository or import an existing repository. Now, if we go back to GitHub, Mark Jackwith, who is one of the lead developers for WordPress, has created a really nice little WordPress repo starter kit. So if I have a look at all here, we've got WordPress is actually in a submodule here. So that's the latest version of WordPress. All the content is in here, so all your themes and plugins and your must-use plugins are all going to be stored in this content folder. It's also got a git ignore, which ignores specific files as Mark's got it set up. Also have a basic htaccess file as well for you, and it's also got this local config sample as well as your WP config there. So it's all nice and tidy. This is all going to make sense once we go through setting everything up, but what we're going to do is we're going to grab this URL here, and we're going to go over to Bitbucket and we're going to import an existing repository. And the source is Git. You've got a few other things that you can choose from, but ours is Git. We're going to put in the URL there, and we're going to pull skeleton 3.5.1, so we'll call it that. Okay, so put in a small little description there. Yes, it's a private repository, and we're going to import that repository, and it's going to go through another screen where it's doing a little bit of talking back and forth and cloning all of that from GitHub, and it's going to then refresh the page, and it's going to take us to that actual repository. So there we go. So we've now got a beautiful, clean, fresh WordPress startup repository to be able to use. So I'm going to leave this video here, and in the next video what we're going to go through is then create a fork of this repo for us to be able to use for our local development. Okay, so I'll see you in the very next video. Okay, bye.